Unconditional love for your twin flame is not possible until you drop all your expectations from your twin flame. And dropping expectations from your twin flame is not possible until you are fully awakened, because in your unawakened state you expect your twin flame to be there for you, to support you, to love you, to physically, emotionally support you, to validate you. You kind of unconsciously depend on your twin flame for so many things. You depend on them, for your own needs, whether your emotional needs, your intellectual needs. Maybe you have great conversations that you miss, or that you rely on them for your intellect, or you rely on them for your sexual needs. You stay in sexual fantasies with your twin flame, relying on them. This is not to say that not relying means that you go have other relationships. No, it just means transcending and not being so limited as to how the matrix has conditioned you into being about your sexual desires. So, or in some sense you expect your twin flame to be there because socially you feel that you will not be complete if your twin flame doesn't marry you, because society will judge you or something like that. So these things are essentially what you have to surrender on the twin flame path. These are the very difficult challenges for the divine feminine. She can't come into unconditional love until she has awakened. And an awakened divine feminine is really at a point where she has a choice to make whether she even wants her twin flame or not. Even when her twin flame returns, it's not compulsive for her to be with her twin flame. It is out of unconditional love that she is with her twin flame. She's very balanced and is not reactive to how the twin flame divine masculine is behaving, and doesn't hold expectations from the divine masculine to be this way or that way. Because the part of you that is holding and is having all of these expectations is your unhealed self. You may not know what the healed self is right now, and hence the definition of the unhealed self may seem to be very painful for you to say that this is unhealed. How can this be unhealed? Because the matrix has so far, it has reinforced what is unhealed within you. Because the matrix will say you get married, to meet your needs, or your partner should be like this and your partner should be like that, and a guy should be like this, and if a guy wants to date you then he will act like that. Normal dating stuff is not working, for dating advice is not working for twin flames. The lessons you learned from your past relationships, obviously, for many of you, you would have been in relationships where supposedly the person you were with actually did show up for you in so many ways. That is why you even had a relationship or a serious commitment, or for some of your marriages. But then that on the other side of it, there was nothing. There was no satisfaction. Even if there was somebody you were with, there was conflict, or there was, even if the person committed to you and married you or something like that, it did not mean much happiness for you after you went through it. So for some of you who needed to learn it that way, you have already learned that experience also, giving you thus infinite patience for your own twin flame journey, and not falling into the same traps of expecting the same 3D stuff from your twin flame. Now, this is absolutely not to say that you can't have a relationship with your twin flame, that it is not a romantic connection, it is not going to be a romantic relationship. That is not what I am saying at all. All I am saying is that the realization of the romantic connection is only possible when you are not expecting the romance and being blown away by it, because the power and the intensity of dreaming about the romance is to an imbalanced mind is very, it causes a lot of, you might say, it puts you off your hinges in some sense. You're always just thinking, you're overthinking, overanalyzing, you're overly emotional about your twin flame. It's not allowing you to be very balanced. It's pushing you into this addictive, cycle of always wondering about your twin flame, thinking about your twin flame, watching tarot readings, wondering what's happening today, what's happening tomorrow, what's happening the next day. It's not allowing you to be who you are. And that's okay. If this is where you're at, that's okay. But we should know that that's not ideal. Even if today I am sad, it doesn't mean that I believe that sadness is ideal. I have to allow my sadness to be. But I have to know that joy is possible. And if I have past experiences of joy and inner bliss, then I know that is the highest state possible. So today's exception can be made, and it doesn't become my normal. So this is how it is. Somewhere, if you are still very focused on your twin flame and thinking that only when my twin flame comes can I be happy, only when my twin flame comes can I be removed from my very painful life. Look, my living situation is awful. Okay, I have family trauma, I have this and that, or I am living with somebody, a partner who doesn't treat me well, or is I'm very unhappy in that situation, or my job situation is pathetic. I hate my job. I hate my life right now is so painful. So you're looking at your twin flame as that savior from this bad life, then that's not going to happen. You have to first come into your empowered self, which anyway knows a way out of, bad situations, because your empowered self has limited to no tolerance for disempowering situations, to be honest. That's one of the first things that the awakened feminine energy removes you from. Just by the nature of the awakened feminine is very free and independent. So she is not a slave to, unhealed structures or impositional structures. She's got nothing to do with those, strict or social obligations and other kinds of obligations. She just doesn't work with them. It's too stifling for her. So many of you then end up losing interest in pandering to these societal and other kinds of structures in your life, because when the feminine awakens, this is what she demands from you. So in essence, only your twin flame will not run when your love has turned without expectations, and you just appreciate them for who they are, and you're very grateful for this whole journey that your divine masculine has gifted you by coming into your life and placing you out of disempowered positions and blessing you with so much of a spiritual revelation, a beautiful spiritual path of knowing who you are. So when that happens, your love for your divine masculine is unconditional, and you don't care what are they up to, where are they. You just want them to be happy and safe and doing well, and there's no any need that you should come now and do this for me, or we should live here and go there and blah blah blah, because I am already giving to myself, and I am already living a very high vibrational life right now because of the immense transformation that I have gone through on the twin flame journey. I'm already living the life of my dreams in some sense. I already have what I need, my truths are revealed to me, and I live an authentic life aligned with those truths. I'm out of my karmic cycles. I'm out of looking at the world not in the way the world is. Earlier I maybe used to wear rose-colored glasses, or I was unable to see world for what it was, or I had too much resentment in my heart, or I was too disempowered, or I had negative belief systems, or I had given my power away. Now I don't have any of that, and my reality is shining bright and beautiful and has a very different vibration to it. My participation with life and existence is total, and it is not limited to my twin flame. It's not limited to one person, my immediate people I know. It is an unlimited participation with life, and unlimited openness, and a very deep, profound connection with my own divinity and the higher divinity that is helping me walk this path and allowing me to know who I am. So when I am here, this is where my love and expectation for everybody is unconditional. My heart is full of love. My nature is love, right? In this, I have no expectations of my twin flame. My love is unconditional for my twin flame. There is gratitude for my twin flame. There is an openness for my twin flame. And at this point of time, I am absolutely not chasing my divine masculine. All chasing has stopped, because what I was seeking, I have found within. And the part of me that was in the perpetual seeking has also settled. And the consciousness that was identified with that part of me that was always seeking and desiring and wanting and complaining and, was very wounded, has also stopped. The consciousness has moved above it into a higher consciousness, where I just abide in who I am. I just abide in the truth of my existence. I abide in the perfection of life as it is in this moment. So at this point of time, do I have any expectations of my twin flame? No. At this point of time, is my love for my twin flame unconditional? Yes. Do I need anything from my twin flame? No, I already have everything. So it's now a choice for me. It's a choice for me to live with or without my twin flame. And it doesn't mean that for many divine feminines, I think for all divine feminines, I don't think any divine feminine will make the choice of not living with the twin flame, because that's just not the nature of the feminine energy. But she's not dependent on the twin flame. And that is a very empowering state to be in. To be in a situation which is not compulsive for you, which is not need-based for you. Oh God, I need this right now. I'm happy I have this. I'm glad. But without this also, I'm perfectly happy. Because my happiness has nothing to do with the presence or the absence of my twin flame. And all my other so-called needs that I have, financial and social needs, and all those things were coming from my lower self, which was trained by the matrix and carried a lot of, childhood wounding of feeling a sense of boycott if I don't meet the societal standards. If society will not accept me if I'm not married by this age and I don't have children and I don't have this job and all that stuff. I have to let go of the society within me. The voice of the society is essentially, what you have internalized within you. And that is not the truth. So for the divine feminine, it is very imperative to move beyond all these fears and all this self-judgment and self-loathing and lack of self-worth, which comes in because of, painful childhoods. If you have lack of self-worth and you're struggling, look at your childhood. Your childhood will hold the key for this. It most likely will hold the key for your belief systems and your current experience of life. If you haven't transcended the egoic consciousness and the mind and have not had the experience of being a higher consciousness, then you are still reacting from this wounded inner child space, and it's not pleasant. Then the experience is going to be very representative of self-judgment and a sense of almost rejecting yourself, a sense of almost not appreciating yourself, a sense of feeling helpless, in the twin flame journey, when this is a journey of your awakening. There's nothing more that the divine masculine needs and wants from you but for you to awaken. So your awakening is going to help them awaken. Because for an awakened feminine, it's not that an unawakened divine masculine is her partner. You encourage him to awaken as well. The way he triggered your awakening by meeting you and you going through your bubble love phase or whatever interactions you had in the beginning, until you could recognize at the soul level what this connection is, and the running and the chasing started. So only when you reach this state of unconditional love are you able to stop being a chaser, and your divine masculine is not going to run from you anymore. And it's an empowered state to be in. It's a state of peace and bliss and love for you, a different reality for you, a reality that you can very consciously create, because there is so much sensibility in you, there is so much of an intelligence operating in you right now about what to engage in, what not to engage in, and all that. So the reality you're creating can be very consciously constructed, and so much of an intelligence about everything that is happening around you. So your inner state of balance, peace and harmony is first realizable within you, and only then this inner state of balance, peace, harmony and union is reflected without. There is no other way to do it. There is no outer to fix to change what you're doing within, what you're feeling within. This is all. I hope that this helped you. If you wish to work one-on-one with me, if you need guidance and support on your journey, we work at a very deep level, we work at an intuitive level, and we also do deep healing work. That is why the time frame of these sessions is longer. I love for these sessions to go deeper, to understand you more deeply. We do not work at a superficial level in these sessions, and if you feel called to have that guidance, then you can book, the first session with me, which is a 3-part session. You can read about it in the first link in the description, where the pricing is also mentioned, and all that about once you have understood the type of session that you need, you can email me to book it at a mutually convenient date and time. And you can also subscribe to my Patreon page, where I go deeper into speaking about the feminine energy, the masculine energy, the kundalini. I will be starting a chakra series very soon for tier 1. There are many workshops on there as well that go very deep into explaining various aspects of healing, inner child work, blocks to union, how to fast track ascension. So there's very deep content there on Patreon. When you click on the Patreon link, the second link in the description box, you can see the types of videos, the titles, and if that calls you, you can subscribe to Patreon. Sending you love. Have a beautiful day.